Yeah.
Yep, that's the kind of guy that sent that, he'd have sent the Jews to the gas chamber, and I'm just following orders.
Yeah.
Just I'm doing, he literally said, I'm just doing what I'm told.
Yep, I'm just doing
what I'm told.
Well, here is something that you need to be aware of. There it is, $75,000, had it right there. No business may deny you service because you refuse to wear a mask. Violation punishable by $75,000 fine. The Americans with Disability Act requires a reasonable accommodation to anyone who cannot wear a mask due to medical conditions. You cannot be forced to disclose any medical condition, and ironically, that has to do with Roe v. Wade and the HIPAA Act. Your right to privacy of medical history is further protected by the Fifth Amendment. And so what we need to do is to simply become the Sons of Liberty and refuse to wear these masks and carry flyers like this wherever they go. Now, that one kind of seems a little unprofessional. So I have decided that I'm going to make a very professional looking one. And I'm also going to make one.
That one? I like that.
You like that one?
Did you put it on the screen?
Yeah, I like that one. You like it?
Yeah, I think it looks fine.
Yeah? It's a little blurry.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
The thing itself looks good.
Okay, well, I'll do it that way then. I just thought it looked a little bit unprofessional. I'm also, listen up.
No.
Because what we need also, not only people who are willing to confront these businesses, right? We need patriotic business owners who refuse to comply.
So you want a good, clear version of that and put it on your website?
Yes.
I can make that.
Can you?
Pretty quickly.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Well, JC's going to make that for me. Also, I'll show you, JC, because I don't have it up on the screen yet, what I'm going to make for patriot business owners. Okay? There we go. To hang on their doors, it says, "Attention customers. Our governor has ordered all persons entering indoor facilities must wear a mask. If you have, in bold letters, if you have a medical condition that prevents you from wearing a mask, you are exempt from this order. Due to HIPAA and the Fourth Amendment, we cannot legally ask you what your medical condition is. Therefore, if we see you without a mask, we will assume you have a medical condition, and we will welcome you inside to support our local small business. We are constantly sanitizing and circulating fresh air through the entire business every day. Thank you for your support and understanding."
Very good. I like it.
That sounds good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's why this is important in Hillsborough County.
So we'll put these together on the website?
We will put these up together on the website so Patriot businesses can access them. I'm going to have them on the website before we go to bed tonight, JC.
Sounds good.
Before we go to bed. Now, why is this important, especially in Hillsborough County? And I don't know about other places, but I want you to know that... will it work in the doctor's office? Yes, it has to work in the doctor's office too. Every place of quote-unquote public accommodation, as much as it makes me to choke to actually use that, I figure if they're going to hang me to the wall with it, I might as well use it back against them.
KrisAnneHall.com.
KrisAnneHall.com. KrisAnneHall.com is where you'll find it. So why is this important for our businesses? Well, in Hillsborough County, JC, our emergency propaganda group took the coward's way out. So Sheriff Chronister gave this really long speech about how making this a second-degree misdemeanor was overburdensome to the sheriff's department, that there is no way that the sheriff could enforce this as a law, and that people would have to, you're going to have calls, everybody calling in, there's a guy in here without a mask, there's going out in here in a mask. He says, my officers don't have the time for that, we don't have the resources for that, and this is overburdensome. I'm not going to vote in favor of this. And so...
He couldn't just call in the SWAT team like he did for the pastor?
I guess. He could have. But, so they tried to remove the penalty of the second-degree misdemeanor, right? But then they got their panties in the wad, Mayor Castro and a couple others. Well, if you remove the criminal penalty, then it's just a recommendation, and there's no point in even having the order. Well, okay, but there you have it. Exactly. So now we've got to rely on Sheriff Chronister to not enforce this, because he said it was unenforceable. So he has to not enforce this. But here's what they did. Do you know what they did? Catch this logic with me, JC. They said, okay, we won't make it a second-degree misdemeanor for the people in the business not wearing the mask. We will make it a second-degree misdemeanor for the owner of the business to have people in their business that are not wearing masks.
Strong arm the business owners.
They're turning the business owners into an arm of government enforcement. Not only that, you know what their logic was? Well, this will reduce the number of calls. Okay, so if you're coming out there because somebody is not wearing a mask to give them a ticket, or if you're coming out there to give a business owner a ticket because somebody in the business is not wearing a mask, what's the stinking difference? You're still going out there. You're still giving the ticket. But now you're causing... Here's the thing, JC, just what we saw at T-Mobile today, all the business owners are going to see is if I let you in without a mask, I'm getting a misdemeanor. And they're going to start violating everybody's, they're going to, what they call it, engage in medical discrimination. They're not going to hear the ADA HIPAA thing, and they're just going to push everybody out. And so now what these cowards at the EPG have done, instead of having officers trained to deal with, I say that loosely, trained to deal with confrontation, now they're turning business owners and customers against each other. Do you see the hostile environment that they're creating? Because they're a bunch of cowards and they won't actually take responsibility from a governmental level. They're turning the private community on the private community. Well, you won't have to go out there. They actually said this on the record. The sheriff won't have to go out there because the business owners will take care of it.
Okie dokie.
How do you not know that this is a design to destroy the economy of America? This is not, you have to admit, this is, number one, a design to destroy the economy of America. Number two, to destroy the community of America.
Never forget that makes it easier, like it creates cheap commodities for the banksters to buy up. Like when you crash all these businesses, then these big cat banksters can go around, which is what they do when this happens. They go around and scoop up all the real estate, the businesses, and everything that they've crashed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's part of the shutdown. I mean, we were talking about that before. China can come in now and buy our farms for pennies on the dollar because we put our farms out of business because they had to destroy their own herds, their own crops in order to, not lose their shirts. Because they shut down all the production plants and all the shipping was shut down and all this other stuff. This is a coup, people. This is absolutely a coup. Here's the funny thing, JC. While they're all debating this piece of legislation that they're going to enforce on private businesses, one of the county manager wanted to include government businesses in the mask mandate. Well, interestingly enough, the emergency propaganda group chose not to include government businesses in the same mandate that they gave to private business owners. And what was also interesting, while they were discussing employing a mandate on the public businesses, on the government offices, they were going to insert a clause that said that certain government offices could opt out of the mask wearing. So what's good for what's a good mandate?
They exempted the government.
They exempted the government from the same private mandate on private businesses. See, how can that possibly be seen as the least restrictive means possible? That's the Supreme Court's standard. You have to have, even if you have a compelling governmental interest, which is tyrannical if you listen to this show long enough, you must do it by the least restrictive means possible. So if it's not bad enough to mandate on government offices, how can it be bad enough to mandate on private businesses?